Alright guys, some serious news relating Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel has been indicted officially by the Dallas County District Attorney's Office for domestic violence. Basically, a grand jury reviewed evidence in the assault case that happened earlier this year, and basically they found reasons to indict him. Basically what happened is Johnny Manziel allegedly was in an uptown bar, and basically he was driving home his girlfriend, who I'll leave her name out of it, but basically was driving his girlfriend back to her place. Apparently he was hitting her. This is all in the report, and basically she tried to get out of the vehicle because she was basically virtually scared. And basically he pulled her back in and allegedly hit her again. And basically she later was going on to tell a hotel, when she was getting back to the hotel room, she was basically telling a valet, please don't let him hit me, and I'm scared of my life. And this is all in the police report with Johnny Manziel. The police didn't arrest Johnny Manziel at the time because basically they decided to let it go to a grand jury to decide if they would pursue a misdemeanor. So basically, this looks like it's going to be a simple assault case. I'm not saying that's what it's going to be, but typically when you're dealing with a misdemeanor and it's an assault, typically it's a simple assault. Basically meaning that simple assault basically means that there's not extreme bodily harm, but like, for example, there might be some stitches, but it doesn't undermine anything. This is a sad thing. I just posted a video of Johnny Manziel getting a job offer by a taco company. They literally put out just yesterday, a taco company actually on their billboard, their big billboard said, they basically said, Johnny Manziel, we are hiring. Okay. They got publicity off that. People thought it was funny. I didn't find it was funny. I thought it was distasteful. Johnny Manziel's been battling off-the-field issues like alcohol. A lot of people can relate to that. But now, at the same time, he had an alleged domestic violence case going on. That was going on indicted in court. And for a taco company to put that on their billboards, these are talking about big billboards where they say, we're hiring. Yeah, they put Johnny Manziel, we are hiring. I'm saying that in quotation. I'm not even paraphrasing that. It's even more distasteful that they did that now. I mean, so they got all this publicity yesterday for doing that, but I think it's going to bite them in the butt today. So yeah, they got publicity for it, but what are you going to do? Now you're going to hire Johnny Manziel now? So this is really just two big things with Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel, too, was dropped by his agent, Drew Rosenhaus, last week. He's been dumped by two agents, actually, in the last 2 months. Drew Rosenhaus, basically, he handles a lot of high-profile football players and big contracts. He basically handled Terrell Owens back in the late 2000s. When Terrell Owens, I should say mid to late 2000s, when Terrell Owens was in Philadelphia, and basically Terrell Owens was not well perceived by the NFL at that time, and a lot of people didn't think he was going to make a lot of money, and a lot of people didn't think a lot of teams were interested in him. Drew Rosenhaus still got Terrell Owens a really good contract and found him a team pretty quick. This is when he was with the Philadelphia Eagles and he was going to the Dallas Cowboys. So Drew Rosenhaus was able to do that for Terrell Owens. Now, Terrell Owens never faced any off-the-field issues like this. So Johnny Manziel if that has to tell you anything, if Drew Rosenhaus is going to drop you, that tells you a lot about everything. And so maybe Drew Rosenhaus knew a little bit more than we all did. But it's really sad. Johnny Manziel, there's a court order on Johnny Manziel. He cannot come next to within 500 feet of his girlfriend. So the judge did find there was reason for Johnny Manziel not to be around his girlfriend. The judge issued basically a protective order against Johnny Manziel that he cannot come near his girlfriend within 500 feet for basically till February 3rd of 2018. So like 2 years virtually. And Johnny Manziel, I don't know if it's the same girlfriend that he was alleged with all the drinking incidences that he was alleged with, and all that type of stuff. But man, he's got to take some time off. I mean, I don't know, guys. What's your personal opinion? Number one, what's your personal opinion about the taco company taking out a big billboard saying Johnny Manziel we're hiring? I mean, do you find that funny or do you find that distasteful? Number two, what do you think about Johnny Manziel? I mean, he's 23 years old, and he's going through things that, I mean, it's just crazy, especially in today's NFL with the domestic violence and, alcohol is one thing. I mean, I'm not even going to get into that. Johnny Manziel's just been in so many incidences, but he's never been convicted. There's no crime, so the NFL can't really suspend him. There's nothing that he's done that's a suspendable offense up until now because he's been indicted. Again, listen, he has not been convicted, but he did reach an out-of-court settlement with his girlfriend, and that's undisclosed what it reached for. Basically, in a civil matter, it was basically a civil settlement. Basically for that altercation. Now, when you go to civil court, okay, civil settlement and civil court's a little bit different. But when you go to civil court, you don't need 12 out of 12 jurors. And when you go to civil court, you actually have to testify. You cannot plead the fifth. If you do not testify, you would therefore considered guilty. And therefore, basically, the judgment would go in the other person's favor. I'm not saying a civil case happened against him. I'm saying there was a civil settlement. So, who knows if anything was said or any documents were given that civil settlement? Excuse me, I'm talking fast. They can be used against you in a criminal case. That's why a lot of people typically will do a criminal case first, then a civil case after. Because if you do a civil case first, whatever you say in that civil case can be used against you in a criminal case. So therefore, Johnny Manziel, and I'm not going to deal with that. Look, what I'm trying to tell you is that these are the things that have been going on with Johnny Manziel. Very sad news. I just made a video of him about a taco company, and basically, this just happened as I was making the video of the taco company. So you can go back in my previous video and check that out. I get more detail of that. But officially, Johnny Manziel in Dallas has been indicted for assault to his ex-girlfriend. Again, he's been not convicted. He's been indicted. Guys, tell me your thoughts. Tell me what you think. Comment, like, subscribe, share. All right, thank you.